Hello guys, today I am going to explain the poems and elementary school classrooms in a slum of CBSE NCRT for the students of class 12. In the very beginnings of my explanations, I want to introduce the poet to you. The poet Stephen Spender, who was born in 1909 and died in 1995. He was one of the great poets who wrote in the affairs of the socialisms. He was a worshipper of socialisms and he did not believe in social injustice. He always wrote against the class struggle. So, at the very beginnings, regarding the rhymes of the poems, rhyming scheme is free verse or blank verse. No rhyming scheme has been used in this poem. Let us start the poem. Far, far from gusty waves, this children's face like rootless weeds, the hair strung around their pallors. The tall girls with hers weighted down head. So here the poet is explaining that far, far from gusty waves, far, far, so that is the literary device has been used here to trace that it is very far or distant from the gusty waves. Gusty waves means that is breeze of knowledge. They are very far from the knowledge. Who? These children, that is the children who are sitting in the classrooms of a slum areas. Face like rootless weeds. Here's their face, that is the face of the children's is rootless, that is unwanted weeds. The hair drawn around their pallors, and their hair is round their pallors, that is without any sounds. जो कवि यहाँ कह रहे हैं कि स्लम में जो एलिमेंट्री प्राइमरी स्कूल्स ऐसे बच्चों के डिस्क्रिप्शन दे रहे हैं जिसको अनवांटेड अर्थात अनडिजायर्ड थिंग के साथ कंपेयर किया गया है. सो दी pallors hairs means they are suffering from the nutritious food. That's why they are unwanted. Nobody like them. The tall girls with hers weighted down the head, the paper swimming boy with red eyes, the stunted, unlucky heirs of twisted bones reciting a father's gnarled disease. So here one tall girl is described whose head is downed because of the overburdened due to the poverty, and another boy who is compared with the paper seeming, that is it is very thin as just like a sheet of the paper. So this paper seeming is a metaphor's literary device has been used So this paper seeming boys is compared, that is, because of his malnutrition, his physical appearance is just like a paper's with rat's eyes. So he is compared with the rat, as the rat's eyes is always very aware to search something. So here the boy's eyes is just like the eyes of the rat. He is also searching something, food, because of his poverty. The stunted, unlucky heirs of a twisted bones, reciting a father's gnarled disease. Here's another voice is described whose stunted, that is not fully grown due to malnutrition, and twisted bones means the diseases which has been got from his fathers, and this disease is his property, and he is really unlucky one. Instead of any wealth or प्रॉपर्टी, ये बच्चे को क्या मिला है, उसको फादर से एक डिजीज़ मिला है, और इसी के बारे में ही इज़ रीडिंग his studies, his lesson from his takes at back of the dim class. So at back of the dim class means he is sitting in the last bench, and the light is not sufficient in the classroom. So one unnoted, sweet and young. So this unnoted, that is, he is not properly visible inside the class, and his eyes live in a dream. This voice is also want to learn something. So his eyes is seeing some dream of squirrels games in the tree rooms other than this, and his dreams is what to play just like his squirrel games, that is in the tree rooms other than this. Other than this here means that is this classroom. The boy cannot concentrate his mind, that is distracted from the lessons. On sour screams world donations 6 years ahead. Here's sour means unpleasant, that is on sour walls here means the colors of the water is not charming one, it is pale, and donation to Shakespeare's hit. Donations here means something is given or received without price. So here's the Shakespeare's hit, and it is painted onto the hanging the calendars or the pictures on the walls, and others beautiful scenarios. So Shakespeare here is one reference of the history character, that is of a big personality, and cloudless at downed civilized domes riding old cities. So here's the cloudless and downs means early in the morning, the clean skies and the beautiful civilized domes. That is the civilized here means the domes of the cities, just like the rising suns, built flowery trellis valleys. So here the built flowers trellis valleys is one allusions, that is the reference to well-known place. This trellis valley is a beautiful valley, that is Australia's. So reference to a great place. This according to the world, and yet hurts these children, these windows, not this map, their world. So whatever the beauty, जो सब ब्यूटीफुल सीनरियो का वर्ल्ड फेमस प्लेस का डिस्क्रिप्शन से यहाँ दिया गया है, वर्ल्ड मैप का इसमें एक पिक्चर दिया गया है, लेकिन ये सब की अवार्डिंग जो है ये सब का डिस्क्रिप्शंस ये चिल्ड्रन का साथ कोई मतलब नहीं है. चिल्ड्रंस दिस विंडोज नॉट दिस मैप्स देयर वर्ल्ड. तो इसके साथ ये बच्चों का कोई ज़िंदगी का सिमिलरिटी है नहीं. देयर्स लाइफ हेयर ऑल देयर फ्यूचर्स पेंटेड विथ फॉग. क्योंकि ये लोगों का जो फ्यूचर है, ये लोगों का ज़िंदगी है, ये एक फॉक्स अर्थात अनक्लियर, कोई सर्टेनिटी है नहीं. सो हियर्स द फॉक के साथ कि ये लोग का फ्यूचर्स लाइफ का कंपेयर किया गया है. ये नैरो स्ट्रीट सेल्ड विथ ए लीड स्काई. हियर लीड स्काई मीन्स ब्लैक स्काई. जो इसका ज़िंदगी जो है इसको पेंट किया है किससे, एक ब्लैक स्काई से, ब्लैक कलर से. दैट इज देयर इज नो चार्म्स और ब्राइटनेस इन देयर लाइफ. फार फार फ्रॉम rivers, caves and stars of words. So far again it is repetitions. Far from words, ये लोग का जो rivers, caves, beautiful vast lands and stars of words, ये सब से ये लोग का जिंदगी बहुत बहुत दूर है. So here's the poet has explained about the future life of the children readings in a slum area schools. Surely Shakespeare is wicked in the map and example. So here's whatever the Shakespeare's pictures, that is world famous writers, is seemed to them as wicked. They can't realize the importance of Shakespeare's, or the map is appeared before them as a मीनिंगलेस, दैट इज़ बैड एग्जाम्पल्स. दुनिया का जो मानचित्र है ये लोग के साथ, ये इस्लाम में जो बच्चे हैं ये लोग के साथ ज़िंदगी का कोई रिलेशन है नहीं. विथ शीप्स एंड सांड एंड लव टेम्पटिंग देम टू स्टील्स. तो जो कुछ भी अच्छा शेप्स सांस, जो ब्यूटीफुल, जो इंटरेस्टिंग चीज़ है पाने के लिए ये लोग का क्या करते हैं, स्टील जैसा चोरी करने के लिए ये लोग का इंस्पायर करते हैं. देन विथ फॉर लिव्स दैट स्लीली टर्न्ड इन देयर cramped hole. So here slily terms is trickily. Slily means trickily turned into their cramped hole. Cramped hole, it is a good metaphor. That is, their life is confined in a slum areas. So from week of hawk to endless night, to The poet has been compared their life with a cloud or the darkness of the night, which is endless. And there, the futures of the slums dwelling children can never be a bright one, prosperous one. On their slack ships means weak, very weak, these children. The poet is describing that for that lily that is as a cramped hole from that is their life is limited in the slums areas from fog to endless night. तो ये लोग का जो नाइट ये लोग का जो लाइफ है ये पूरा रात का अंधेरा का साथ तुलना किया गया है. ऑन देयर स्लैक हीप दैट इज दे आर वेरी वीक दिस चिल्ड्रंस आर वेरी वीक. ये लोग बहुत कमज़ोर हैं बिकॉज ऑफ देयर food, lack of food and nutrition. Wire skins peeped through by bones and spectacles of the steels with mended glass like bottle beads of the stones. All of their times and space are foggy slums, so blot their map with a slum as big room. So the poet is describing here that their life is meaningless, their life is confined in slum areas, they do not have any relationships with the outer world, and their life is just like a endless night. And their dress that is skeleton is observing, they are so thin that their bones is peeped through the skin and their poor dress and spectacles of the steel with mended glass. ये लोग का जो चश्मा पहना हुआ है वो भी कि रिपेयर्ड हुआ है, इट इज़ नॉट कंफर्टेबल एट ऑल, इससे स्टील से बना हुआ है. एंड बॉटल लाइक बीड्स, इसको एक सिमिली, वो लोग का जो चश्मा पहना हुआ है कि लाइक बॉटल बीड्स ऑन स्टोन्स. तो ये एक अच्छा सिमिली का प्रयोग किया गया है कि वो लोग का चश्मा किसके साथ कंपेयर किया गया है कि एक बॉटल जब कि एक स्टोन के ऊपर बीट करेंगे वो जैसे तोड़ फोड़ हो जाएगा, ऐसा ही टूटा हुआ चश्मा ये बच्चों पहने हैं. ऑल ऑफ देयर टाइम्स एंड स्पेस आर foggy slum. Again the poet is reminding us about the darkness of their futures. Their life is just like a foggy that is not clear, not determined. So blot their maps with slums as big as a dome. सो ये लोग का जो ज़िंदगी है, ज़िंदगी का जो एक मैप है, निशाना है, ये क्या है? स्लम एज बिग एज डोम्स. ये लोग का डिजास्टर्स लाइफ है, किसमें? स्लम में है. Unless governors, inspectors, visitors, these maps became their windows, and these windows that shut upon their sleep like catacombs. So the word catacombs means that is cemeteries or tomb. टॉम्स जैसा कि एक छोटा सा स्पेस है, ऐसा ही ये लोगों का ज़िंदगी जो है ये जो जब गवर्नर्स है, गवर्नर्स, इंस्पेक्टर्स, विजिटर्स एंड ये सबको कभी कह रहा है कि जब विजिट करके स्कूल का डेवलपमेंट नहीं करेंगे तो अब ये लोग का जो मैप है, ये लोग का जो ज़िंदगी का जो मैप है, ये कि कभी डेवलप नहीं हो पाएगा. दैट इज शॉट अपॉन देयर लिव्स लाइक कैटाकम्स. एक कबर स्थान में जैसा बहुत छोटा स्पेस कन्फाइंड होता है, ये लोग का ज़िंदगी भी एक छोटा सा स्लम एरिया में कन्फाइंड है. सो their development is never possible if the governors, inspectors, visitors, they do something for the development of the schools. Break open till they break the towns. So the people, the hungry peoples in the living in the slum areas can start movement at any time. So before that movement, the poet is telling that the visitors, inspector, they should do something to calm themselves, to bring development in their life, so that they cannot start a movement, and show the children to green field and praise. Here show the children green field and make their world. So here one important metaphor has been used. It is white and green leaves. White means the books, page of the books, and the greens means natures. And we know the peoples of the children of the slums areas can get knowledge, can acquire knowledge through book, which is mentioned here as white, and they can also enjoy the green leaf to enrich their life in the open field. Rant azure so unto gold sands let theirs tongue, so they can also enjoy the azure. Azure here means the deep blue colors, and gold sand, and let their tongues run naked into book. So here run in consecutive to line. Here anaphora has been used. You know, anaphora is the use of a repeated word into two consecutive lines. So here's the run and run, these two has been used in consecutive line, and history there's a whole language into the sons. So their life, their कहानी ज़िंदगी का ये कभी ब्राइट नहीं हो सकता है. ये ये लोग का जीवन कहानी, ज़िंदगी का कहानी को भी इतिहास में हाईलाइट नहीं किया जाता है. सो होप यू हैव गॉट द आइडिया about the meaning and the themes of the poem. Thank you very much.